at the heart of at the heart of personal branding. So without further delay, I'm going to turn it over to Mike. Mike, let you start.
Yeah. Thanks, Trevor. Nice to meet you, Joel. Everybody on the call. Appreciate you guys. I know we're a little digital, but that's the world we live in. And yeah, personal branding it's one of the reasons I love this business. I left corporate America and I joined my wife here at Movement and basically went through a personal brand kind of makeover, taking kind of her business, kind of transitioning it to our business. My wife didn't really fool with social media much. And so harnessing the power of social media. And it's just fun. Listen, we're all adults. We all have lives. And I think that real estate, just like lending, just like being a small business owner, like the lines are so blurry on what's business and what's personal. And I love that, frankly, because then I just get to be myself. And I know that, Joel, I know you guys embrace that. So we'll kind of get diving in. Here's a quick agenda. Like I said, for those taking notes, I'll try to not like speed through this, but I do want to be conscious of timing and stuff like that. Yeah, there's me and my family. My originally from upstate New York, Bill's Mafia. I'm a proud girl dad. My kids are 8, 6, and 4. My wife is a Movement OG. She's been with Movement since almost the beginning, 2009 when we were New American Mortgage. Kind of worked every job under the sun in a kind of small startup that we were back then. Started full on originating the end of 13, beginning of 14, and then had built up a great business and enough to where, I felt the pull to join her versus continuing to kind of climb the corporate ladder, which I didn't really want to do. I wanted more time home with my kids and with my family instead of jumping on a plane and being out every other week. And it really made sense because our strengths and our weaknesses or opportunities, they really complement each other well. So I like this kind of stuff. I'm an extrovert, kind of big picture type of person. And my wife is very detailed. Could sit in the office and just drink coffee and crank through stuff for 12 hours a day. And that works, right? And then Trevor's an awesome team member that we have. And we're so thankful that he's at Movement. So that's a little bit about just us in a nutshell. For those of you on the call, on the live stream that maybe aren't super familiar with Movement, been around since 2008. We were actually New American Mortgage at the time. That's a picture of my wife's original name tag. We've grown into the 6th largest retail mortgage lender in the country, number 1 in USDA, number 8 in VA. And it's been a blessing. I tell people all the time, like sometimes I have to pinch myself to not only get to do something that's fun and that's making a difference in people's lives, but also to do it at an organization where I'm just so proud to fly the flag of Movement and everything that we stand for. Casey, our CEO, bottom left corner, has always led from his faith and his integrity and his principles, and that's not changed. And it's only gotten stronger and more developed. And so I could go on and on. If you've got a Movement contact, chances are they're awesome. If you don't, then I'd want you talking to Trevor because he embodies who we are as a culture. Our priorities, I won't spend too much time here, but God, family, community, business in that order for a reason. So that's important to us. If at any point anybody has any questions, I'm going to just kind of go. You can just unmute yourself and shout, and I'll do my best to get to you. Or if Trevor can kind of monitor that too, that'd be good. But really, personal branding is the practice of people marketing themselves and their careers as brands. That is personal branding by definition. And we're going to unpack a lot of that here. Obviously, I think every single brand on this is recognizable. And that's done intentionally. That's done on purpose. So, what's the brand perception of you in your local market? Like I mentioned, in real estate, in lending, in small business ownership, you really are a walking, talking brand. And I'm curious, and I want to challenge you, what is your perception in the market? So 3 kind of quick and easy steps, and we'll unpack each one of these, living your personal brand. The first one is really important. It's choosing your target market. I'll go into that. I'll give some real world experience. Second is creating a professional image. And third is sharing relevant content. And those 3 elements done well, thought out and strategically kind of orchestrated in one direction is really your personal brand. So your target market, there's a million target markets, right? When I was in the recruiting industry, and this is me going back before I joined Movement, I had a very, very specifically defined geographic territory. If you were a hiring manager within these 4 borders of Charlotte, you're getting a call from me and I'm going to work to introduce myself to you, right? Well, transition into this, and as a lender, you know, we can do a loan anywhere in North and South Carolina, and really anybody of age that's got some working history, like, could be a client. And for me, I'll be very transparent with you, like, that tripped me out. That was like a information overload, like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And the real question is, like, where do you start, right? So I think these target market ideas, they're just to get you going on, like, what is a niche that you have or that you own, or what is a target market that you're passionate about? And again, the cool part of this industry, outside of doing anything blatantly illegal, is there's really no wrong answer. Just lean into it and own it, right? So here's just a couple ideas: property location, neighborhood, you know, if you're a veteran, if you live on a farm, if you own a wedding venue, like, who cares? Like, just lean into that. And there's a ton of ways to market to those things. Here's a couple, just a couple quick examples. Very quick and easy to understand who Nick and Karen's target customer is, right? Here's a military and veteran. Military and veterans are on their forefront. It's on their landing page. That's who they serve. They're very clear about that. First responders, police, fire, EMT. Such a cool, such a cool market there. So, you know, after this presentation, I really, really want to encourage you to start to write out, hey, who am I and what are some of the target markets that I can really lean into, that I can add the most value to, right? And go from there. Your professional image, this one's always fun. I'll show you a couple funny examples. You know, I actually saw, and maybe Joel saw it on the way down a little bit through Fort Mill down to Rock Hill. There's a huge billboard of a divorce attorney. And it's like, it says something funny like, divorces happen, doesn't mean your real estate needs to, you know, something, but it's like, it's funny, but it's true. And that's their niche, right? Don't get a divorce, just get a bigger house. Chris Clark. Why he chose to focus on that, I don't know, but it's memorable. And that's probably what he's going for there, right? Love this. Dave Foreman, the #1 sales rep in the region, according to my mother, and only Dave's mother is surveyed. Like, again, it's weird, but it's funny and it's memorable. You will never forget that mustache, I promise you. Right, wrong, or indifferent, right? So professional image, just like with listing photos, pay for the professional image, pay for the headshot, have a professional guide you in that regard. It will make a difference. Any questions while I'm just kind of going? Everybody doing good? Thank you for the nodding and the everything. We got some more people. Love it. Brand makeover. I'm going to keep you guys kind of popped up in the corner here. All right. You can see a really good before and after here. Bottom left corner. It's boring, but it gets the point across, right? But the after, same information, just professionally done. A little bit of time and care, definitely some professional direction, and you've got an awesome brand makeover by Manpreet or Manny. Same thing with Becky. I mean, listen, can we just talk about something really quick? how many people you know that their social media image and their real life image does not look anything like each other? I find that hilarious. I don't know if people do it on purpose, but I appreciate Becky here, updated photo, kind of similar like color scheme, but it's just cleaner, it's neater, it's got her handles to her social, and it's really, really good there. You'd want to consider a slogan, right? There's a lot of folks that have a slogan, mortgages by Trevor, hashtag mortgages by Trevor. That was one of the first things when I started really leaning into social media. One of our marketing people taught me Instagram in 20 minutes. And I really appreciated that, but created a hashtag for Melissa and I, and it's MM. It's a family thing. That could mean Mike and Melissa. That could mean Movement Mortgage. That's kind of the beauty behind it. But it's a family thing, really encompasses the fact that I'm a dad and a husband first. But B, it's folks that we work with. We truly consider you family. You, our agents, our buyers, our sellers, our referral partners, you put bread on our table and diapers on my baby's butts when they're little, like you're family. And we're going to treat you like that. And sometimes that's hard conversations. Sometimes that's going there with you. A lot of that is just honesty. And a lot of that is partnership and love and care. And so our it's a family thing. To us, it kind of incorporates all of that. So Joel, his slogan is out and about doing real estate things. That's great. I love that. And again, there's no right or wrong answer. Just come up with something and own it. There you go. ASKELLIMAN. This guy did a huge campaign about ASKELLIMAN. He was working intentionally to create a slogan, but something his slogan does really well is it also creates engagement. It prompts a response from people. ASKELLIMAN. Here you go. I can't remember her name, but Ebby, Halliday Realtors. She is leaning into the fact that buying a house maybe historically is complicated or hard or scary. You can see this: buy and sell with confidence, not concern. Real estate can be complicated. We're here to help. Is it the angle I would take? Not really, but there's a ton of opportunity to dispel myths and bust non-truths. And again, we're all professionals here. One of our main goals is to make this experience easy and memorable for our buyers and sellers and our partners. So again, maybe it's not my thing, but good for her. And she leaned into it. She has got a whole brand campaign about that. There you go. Coffee to keys. Awesome. The coffee to me symbolizes that she values the one-on-one face-to-face. And the keys means I'm going to take this from cradle to grave and get you closed. I love that. We did a campaign in 2020. It was called Closings for Classrooms, where every closing that Melissa and I had in our own personal production, we would donate a portion of that to basically buy books for the movement schools that are being built. For those of you that aren't familiar with movement, we actually are building and launching our own charter schools through the Movement Foundation. Back in 2020, we were trying to kind of intertwine our passion for the movement school. Again, kids, family that fits kind of right on brand with who Melissa and I are. Couple that with doing some good and some philanthropy with some of the closings. Plus, we get to showcase and tell a story of the folks buying houses. So I thought it was really fun. Closings for Classrooms was one that just came to my head and stuck, and it really worked. So if you're not branding yourself, somebody else is doing it for you. So you have the opportunity to control the narrative, right? So what's your story? Have a story. Make sure you've got your elevator speech. Make sure you've got your story. Something that I'm going through just on a personal and professional journey is articulating my why. I know my why, but why do you care? Why does Joel care? Why does Trevor care? Being able to articulate my why and my story it builds connections. It makes you vulnerable. And that is truly, I think, what we're all striving for in this industry, you know, and the personal branding kind of falls in line with that, because you guys might know, I don't know how many thousands of realtors there are in the Charlotte area. There's just as many lenders, right? So how do you stand out? How do you separate yourself? How do you build connection points with people, right? And the personal branding, it's what it's about. So I'll dive into just storytelling with content really quick, because as you're building your brand, storytelling, messaging, content delivery is really, really important. And again, these are just kind of trying to have you jot notes and maybe kind of, you know, do your own brainstorming, but really the content can and should be educational focused. It can be entertaining and it can be convincing. And I'll give you some examples of each kind of category. So educational content. I think this is, you know, a huge gap, right? And I know that people do it really well. People are doing this with Instagram Reels really well. It's myth busting. It's, you know, think about the hundreds of little tiny steps in a real estate transaction, in a mortgage transaction, in a contract. If you pulled out every single one of those, you could turn the camera on yourself, make a 30 to 45-second video, or do a fun infographic or something. You'd have content for a year, right? So some of this, why real estate, get into your agent profile, hobbies, passions, interests, property niche, all of these are educational, right? Your specialty. People, I think this is a huge opportunity to tell stories. You know, there is definitely a difference between, look at me, I'm an awesome realtor, you should use me. Look at all the closings I have, look at all the millions of dollars in closed volumes I did in 2021. That's fine. That's cool. If that's your thing, do it, right? You can tell that same story, but through the lens of your past clients, your referral partners. Why did they choose you? Testimonials, closing pictures, the results you delivered. We'll do a lot of, we've got some corporate graphics that movement people do about a rescue loan, right? I received an app on Monday, and by Thursday, my ops team had it cleared to close, right? You're telling a story, you're bringing other people into the fold. Yes, you're showing people how awesome you are and you're building credibility as a lender, but you're kind of doing it through storytelling. And I think that's so cool. And I think that's so important. Like I said, testimonials, we'll kind of dive into some of this stuff. Property stories, again, home walkthroughs, highlights, photos, neighborhood amenities. You can do this stuff really well and provide educational content, right? You know, one of the first things that it kind of dawned on me when I joined Melissa is, we don't have to be the biggest, baddest lender in North Carolina, right? Again, I told you, like that freaks me out. Like, I don't know where to start there. I don't have to be the biggest lender in North Carolina. I should be the best lender on my block, right? In my neighborhood. And just kind of taking it and narrowing your focus is really, really important and key. Community stories, same thing. Again, what a cool thing to be able to go out in the community, interview your buddy who owns a local coffee shop, interview your kid's second grade teacher, see what's happening there. Bring light to local businesses that are opening. You are telling a story. You're telling the world, hey, I'm a realtor and I'm local, but I want to spotlight Joe at ABC Coffee Shop, or I want to spotlight this person and I want to bring light to the community that I love, right? So just some ideas for you. Here's some more educational content, just some buy versus rent, really good infographic type stuff. Trevor and I have access. We use a tool called MBS Highway where we can run data for you guys very, very quickly. on things like rent versus buy, bid over ask, the cost of waiting. If somebody's like, hey, I'm just going to rent for a year, this ain't worth it. You might be frustrated and it might be hard, but it's definitely not worth it. We're going to show you that. So again, we can get your name and your information up in the top corner, co-branded, just a real estate report card. We've got cool access to all this stuff. And again, all of this, what Trevor is doing with you guys, what I'm doing to help Trevor, it's all to make you, it's all to build your credibility in the marketplace with your buyers and your sellers. However we can do that, we're here to help you out. Entertaining content. It's really funny. I actually ixnayed a video because it was like 3 minutes long and I didn't want to play it, but there's tons of good entertaining stuff out there. If you're funny and you're creative, there's ways to do stuff. I'm sorry I don't have the example, but you don't have to look very hard to find realtors and small business owners that are embracing kind of comedy. Throw your kids in some stuff, make them say something funny. One of the videos that I shot way early on were my kids in movement shirts, giving a market update, and their lisps and they're saying stuff wrong. That sucker got so many views and so much engagement. And again, it wasn't outside of who I am as a dad and as a husband. Like, people expect to see my kids, right? They're important to me. Throw a movement shirt on them, throw an EXP shirt on them, take them out to your listing appointment, have them show some features and some benefits of a house. It'll blow up, I promise you. And then convincing content's kind of the third, what's your niche? Are you tech savvy? Are you a neighborhood expert? What's your history and results? You can kind of see how this all kind of bleeds together. What John brings to the table: 10 years of experience, 100 million plus, how many Google reviews, how many satisfied buyers, a little bit about John. Please do not skip past it. He's an avid football fan, a golfer, a proud father. I just commented he's a lender in the local market. I connected with him on LinkedIn. His bio said, proud dad, follower of Christ, imperfect husband, and oh, by the way, I'm a lender too. I was like, dude, I love your bio. Like, that's so real, and it's so like vulnerable, but it's so true. Like, being perfect all the time it's not real life. It's not real life. I like how folks can poke fun at themselves, or I don't know where I'm trying to go here, but this is just a cool infographic. Movement's really leaned into, and hey, like from a social media marketing content perspective, less words, more graphics, more colors. Like, this is the kind of stuff people want to see. People in our marketing department are way smarter than me on this, but I love this graphic. It's easy to read, straight to the point. It's fun. It's engaging. It's on brand. So I just thought I'd throw that in as an example. All right, reviews. I don't care if you've been in the game 10 years or 10 minutes. Please, 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 every transaction, capture a client testimonial. Again, the biggest, baddest Instagram following means nothing if you can't deliver the goods. And it's one thing for you to tell me that you can deliver the goods. It's another thing for 100 of your past customers to verify that you can deliver the goods, right? Just like we all do when we're looking to take our spouse to a restaurant, or we're mulling over a purchase on Amazon. We have become a review-centric society. I know there's stats on it. I've got them written somewhere. I don't have it, but the actual, like, the number of people that will look at reviews before making a purchase, 90%. And just think about your own life. That's 100% true for me. Even the smallest little purchase, I'll look, oh yeah, good reviews, cool. I got that. Or, not great reviews. Maybe I'll check something else out. Here you go. Choosing an agent you find online, 62% had excellent reviews. Look at 5%, the agent's about me bio was written well, right? Even less, or even a little bit more, 8% the agent has impressive credentials, 22% the agent is active in their community. So I'm not a math whiz, but 84% of people, what is important to them is that they're hyper local and that their past clients speak highly of them. There you go. Here's the secret sauce right here. How do you get more client reviews? Glad you asked. I'll tell you, oh, here you go. Sorry, I went back. So there's automated tools to get reviews. There's automated surveys. There's things of that nature. What I have found to be the most powerful is doing that stuff longhand. And what you want to do is you want to, just like with a lot of things, think about if you're getting a recommendation letter for something. It's better that you write the letter for the person and have them sign it than it is for you to say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, I know you're busy. You got like 2 seconds. Could you write me a review? Okay, cool. It's 4 stars and there's no content and it doesn't really land that well, right? So take a little time and craft what you want your reviews to say as much as possible. So what we have found is that there's kind of really like three kind of main elements to a good review and what will get the most most powerful review. Why did you choose me? What was your biggest concern? Right? And what was the result? So why did you choose me? What was your concern and what was your biggest result? And what was the result? I was up until kind of recently, I was doing this longhand on every single one of our closings. We now have some systems and stuff in place where we're getting similar reviews. It's getting fed to these places, but I'm not having to kind of churn it out longhand. Automating, it's a beautiful thing. I will say I did like the quality of the reviews I got doing this. And I may go back to it, but look at exactly the same thing, right? What we found is this most helpful format. What was your main concern? What was your experience? And what were the results, right? I shot a little bomb video basically explaining that, just saying, hey, thank you, I love you, and I value you. And oh, by the way, your review is going to do wonders for us in the marketplace. I've been breathing, I'm out of breath. Man, sorry, you got to stop me here. I've also been, I will tell you one thing, and my marketing person, Catherine, has really helped me understand how important Google reviews are. I'm 38, I'll be 39. Folks that are younger than me understand SOI and Google results and stuff like that, maybe a little bit better, but really getting reviews captured, whatever platform you choose, if it's Zillow, if it's your Facebook page, if it's social survey, please pay attention to Google reviews. Trevor's going to give a kind of piggyback that when he closes, but your Google reviews will help boost your SOI. It will help you gain visibility in the marketplace for the general consumer that's shopping for a realtor or a lender. Whew, good ideas, hopefully. I see some smiles. I'm happy about that. So I'm going to kick it to Trevor. He's going to kind of prompt some action items and some responses from you guys, and then we'll kind of close it up, okay?
Well, you guys can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I guess, what I want to do is I want to that was a lot to digest. I want to kind of pull it back and, we've all learned about in this, what Mike has discussed, that the importance of personal branding. You wouldn't be on this call if you didn't realize that it was important. It seems like everything these days is being branded, from, Instagram influencers to shaving cream to whatnot. So we all understand and can recognize that personal branding is one of the key elements in personal business success these days, right? And we've also learned that the 3 building blocks are developing a focus, creating a professional image, and sharing relevant content, right? So we understand the importance of personal branding. We've seen that the 3 building blocks here, one, developing a focus. We all want to be Coca-Cola, but the reality is, we generally don't want to try to aim for that type of broad of appeal. So kind of developing your niche of who and how you're going to sort of position and present yourself in terms of a brand is like one of the first, building blocks, right? Number 2, creating a professional image. And then number 3, sharing relevant content. Those are kind of like, rubber meets the road type actionable items. One of the key reasons why I joined Movement was its commitment to an expertise in personal branding and marketing. I actually, frankly, just went through the process of launching and branding myself as a Movement mortgage professional. And I can tell you that when it comes to that number 2 building block and 3 building block of creating a professional image for yourself, once you've decided kind of what your focus is going to be and creating a professional image for yourself and creating relevant content to support that image, the most important, rubber meets the road, first things that you can do are, number 1, your business profile on Google. That is critical, meaning that when people search your name up or search eXp Realty in your name or something like that, it's going to be the difference between your just, maybe your web page appearing somewhere in the search results versus having a nice, sort of a nice toolbar off to the side that you see with any real business when you Google that, with the address and a photo of yourself, and I can guarantee you that 90% of your prospective clients are going to Google you. They're going to Google you. They're going to look at what your professional profile is. And it's just one of the first things that you can do, that you're going to want to have some sort of looking like you're a real business, like you've got this, I belong here. I'm, people are interested in learning about me. You're learning about me, and other people are interested in learning about me. And the number 1 first thing that you got to do is get yourself as a claimed business on Google. Number 2, it links into that. They're going to want to see images, and relevant recent images. I've seen that. I've done that. I've Googled people, and it's a headshot of their college graduation, and they're 55 years old. Look, that is you, but that's not you. And maybe you're a little nervous or embarrassed or shy. People who want to do business with you want to see you, want to see who you are. So you absolutely have to invest in some sort of professional photo shoot, headshot, something that's recent. That is, my opinion. Mike and I both were very big into action shots, trees in the background, at church, at the brewery, or something like that. That tends to be what works a little bit better these days, right? Number 3, from that, you then follow into, there's your Facebook profile and how you kind of present yourself on Facebook and Instagram. Personally, there is a whole world to creating a Facebook page as a business. And same thing for Instagram. There's a little bit of a debate, like Mike likes to present himself, he likes to have Mike has a business Facebook account, but he also has kind of an Instagram that he likes to blend for some personal items with business. That's a great, but you need to do that. You need to make it this, sort of create a landing page of things that are relevant to you and your business and your presence online in Facebook and Instagram, that is representative of you and your brand, what you're trying to express to people who are looking for you, because they will look for you. They will start by looking for you on Google and see if you're kind of a business that is there and belongs there and with some information that people want to see. Then they're going to almost invariably go to Facebook and Instagram. And from there, yes, the myriad of LinkedIn and TikTok and everything like that, you can worry about that later. But in terms of actionable items, the absolute first things that you need to focus upon: claiming your Google business, getting some decent shots up there, and then kind of carrying it over to Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, Trevor, let me jump in before we
Absolutely.
close. I just don't want to butt up. We're kind of butting up against time.
Yep.
Couple things. All right. Nobody likes the way they look on video. Nobody likes the way they sound on video. Guess what? That's how God made you. Get over it and shoot a video. Get your pictures taken. Put yourself out there. Do it. I promise you, the first 100 videos you do, you're going to hate them. And then you're like, well, this kind of sucks, but shooting videos and delivering content is so much easier when I just talk into a camera, right? Versus typing something or spending a million years on an infographic. So God made you that way. So lean into it, embrace it. If you don't like the way you look, it's not my business to tell you that, but I hated the way I looked and the way I sounded. Hey, another thing, personal branding, getting started with social media, getting started with video, getting started with Google. Those are all things that Trevor and I either have personal experience with, or movement has given us resources to teach you guys how to do. I've done similar slide deck lunch and learns, both in person and Zoom, on all of those topics. Plus, we've lived them. So if you need any advice on social media, again, like, just don't overcomplicate it. Business page on Instagram, business page on Facebook. Again, it's all one big brand. So if you're sketchy about putting your kids on social media, don't put your kids on social media. But don't try to have 17 different accounts and what do I post here and what, because then you'll never post. That's how I am too, right? So get kind of the building blocks and the fundamentals down. And if you need anything, need any help, Joel, if we ever can do this again or get in front of your team, we've got content on all that stuff we'd love to share with you.
Well, I mean, you can see the secret sauce that, we revealed here with at the bottom of the slide, that this is a lot to digest. These are the actionable items, but we are, and we have expertise in this. We are willing, if you want to, meet individually or in small groups to actually show you, clicking point by point on how to do these things. It's not that difficult. It is a little intimidating if you're not familiar with it. That's something that we do.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, Trevor, why don't you put your contact information in the chat?
Absolutely.
So that the folks that are on here can grab it. Total big whiff on my end is I don't have like a slide. I don't have a slide at the end that has our contact information. That's kind of the end of it. Put your information in the deck so that we can get with you guys in person. Thank you guys for coming and attending. Like, that's it. We're all in this together. I promise you. The more that we can help you, the more that we can add value to you, build your credibility, kind of increase our partnership. I think that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking for people that we can build and grow our business around, that we like and can trust and want to do life with. And that's what it's all about. So we're here to help you guys. Thank you so much. We really, really, truly
absolutely, Joel.
It.
Thanks for having us. Again, I'll reach out to people who are on the call. Anyone's, more than welcome to reach out to me personally. Like, www.mortgagebytrevor.com. I can show you how to get your own little URL like that. And it's, it's a lot of little steps. Don't be intimidated by it, but it's something that almost everybody's doing in the market these days, and we can show you how to do it.
And Jocelyn, Kraida, Joel, if you have any questions, follow up. I just wanted to make sure that we honored your time. I'm good for a few more. If anybody wants to just chat about anything, I don't want to rush us off here, but
any questions, anything?
Turn it over to you guys.
Any questions, guys?
No.
Oh, awesome. Great. Well, yeah, I think that's it. And I was gonna say, and kudos to Trevor too. We're actually working a deal right now. He got us a clear to close like 2 to 3 weeks before we were gonna close. So it's freaking amazing. He's doing his job. So definitely.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you a secret. That's the norm around here. That's what we're at least always striving for is get that baby done and wrapped well before the closing date. So there's no stress or anything at the 23rd hour. And that's how Movement's built, I think, a really good reputation in the market. So thanks, Joel. We're really happy to hear that.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank y'all. Well, shoot, I won't hold y'all. I appreciate y'all hopping on, and I'd love to have y'all for another one some other time for sure.
Do it, man. Love it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, dude. See ya.
See ya.